Hello Oracle Database Geeks, this is Justin, and in this Oracle Database YouTube video tutorial I am going to show you the auto commit feature of SQL Plus, which is available on all Oracle database installations. Now, to understand auto commit, we need to understand two operations: commit and rollback. And to understand commit and rollback, you have to understand what a transaction is. Now, a transaction in an Oracle database is basically an operation which modifies data somehow. Okay, you modify the row of a table. Okay, you insert a last name into a names database, or you change someone's phone number in a contacts database. Whatever. Those are all known as transactions, database transactions. Okay, and when you commit a transaction, basically what you're doing is you're telling the transaction to end. That's how you end a transaction. You either commit it or you roll it back. When you commit it, what that does in Oracle is it flushes the redo, the change that you made, okay, whether it's through ad hoc SQL commands in SQL Plus or through an application API. It flushes those changes from the online redo log buffer in the SGA, which is in memory of the database server, and flushes it to online redo log files on disk, to the physical files, if you will. Okay. That's what a commit does. Now, when you do a rollback, what that does is that also ends a transaction, but it has a different result. What that does is that goes into the online redo log segment. The the undo segments. That's what I wanted to say. And it reconstructs the column, the rows, as they were prior to when you modified the data somehow. Okay? So, transactions is any modification of data in an Oracle database, and are ended with either the rollback or the commit command. Alright? And there are two ways to enter a commit command. You can either do it explicitly with when you just type in the COMMIT semicolon, or you can do it implicitly, which I'm going to show you how to do now. Alright, so let's go ahead and let's set our Oracle SID to finance, and let's ensure we're set properly, which we are, finance. Now let's connect to the finance database via SQL Plus. Okay, let's ensure we're connected with a sysdba user by doing the show user command. And let's ensure we're connected to the correct database by typing in select name from the $database. Okay, so we're connected to the finance database as the sysdba user used sys. So let's go ahead and create a table called names. And we do that with the command create table names fname, one column, first name, that stands for, data type var, variable character, 20 characters. Now we do a describe names, and we see the structure of the table we just created. The table is called names. It has one column called fname, data type variable character 2, 20 characters. Now if we do a select asterisk from names, select all rows from names, we will see that there is no data, no rows selected, no data is currently inserted into this table. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to insert two rows into this table. So we're going to do insert into names values. I'm going to use my girlfriend's name as 1. And insert into names values, my name as another row. Now we're going to do select asterisk from names. And now the table names in the fname column has two rows, has Binka and Justin. Now go ahead and ever since we did the insert command, the transaction is currently in progress as far as Oracle is concerned. There's actually internal Oracle locks on this table and rows right now. See my database lock tables, my database lock videos on YouTube where I go in more detail about database locks. There's actually internal database locks on these data structures now in Oracle because the transaction hasn't ended yet. The insert started it, and it needs to end by doing one of two things. Now, if we type in commit, this data will be what I call externalized. This data will be taken from the online redo log buffer in the SGA and written to online redo logs files on disk. Now if you type in rollback, what that's going to do is that's going to go into the undo segments, and it's going to return the table to what it looked like prior to the transaction, which is insert. But this will effectively end the transaction. So we type in rollback, it says rollback complete, the transaction is done. We type in select asterisk from names, and our 2 rows, Minka and Justin, are gone because we typed in rollback. Okay? Now, go ahead and do the following. Type in show auto commit. Now the show command is an SQL plus command, which SQL plus has a lot, and I mean a lot, dozens, if not dozens, hundreds of settings that you can set to control your SQL plus environment and how it behaves and interacts with you. Okay, so if you do a show auto commit, it shows that the auto commit SQL plus parameter is currently set to off. Don't confuse these with the SP file or P file parameter. Those are database level parameters. They're not the same thing. These are SQL plus. These are parameters for the SQL plus program. Okay, so we do a show auto commit. We see the auto commit's off. So go ahead and type in the following: set auto commit on. So the command is set, and then the SQL plus parameter auto commit, and then the value on. Now do show auto commit again. Okay, and we will see that auto commit is on. Okay, and it shows it as immediate, but it's on. Okay, so now go ahead and insert that data again. There's 2 values again, Minka, and do Justin as well. Notice this time there's a difference. When you typed in when you did insert up here, it said the output. We typed in the insert command here, and the output the SQL plus came back with was 1 row created. We did another insert for Justin. It said 1 row created. But notice down here, after we enabled the auto commit feature, when we did an insert for Minka, it said 1 row created like it did up there, but it also says commit complete. Then when we did an insert into names values for Justin, 1 row created like it did up there, but again, commit complete is displayed. Okay, so now we do a select asterisk from names, and we see Minka Justin. Now we attempt to do the rollback to end the transaction, but guess what? The transaction has already been ended implicitly. So now when we do a select asterisk from names, we will see that Minka and Justin are still there, despite the fact that we typed in rollback up here. That's because with setting auto commit on, by setting that value to something other than off, what that does is that tells SQL Plus that all of your DML transactions, which inserts a DML transaction, you want which stands for data manipulation language, you want SQL DML transactions to automatically end when they're done, so by automatically committing. Okay, so that's what auto commit does, and be careful with that. It's some applications is a requirement. There are some application considerations that you have to take with that, and just be really careful with commit. It can cause auto commits can also cause performance problems as well. Okay, so it's something you definitely want to look at first. Okay, so that's the auto commit feature.